trying to not give up on this season is a tough thing for fans to do, and I get it. I get it. It's amazing. It feels like we just need the defense to go from being the worst in the league to being, bottom 5 or 6 in the league, and they've got a great chance to win some games. That doesn't feel like a big ask. But when you don't get a stop like ever, you got big-time problems. Big-time problems. And there's a lot of heat on Aaron Glenn today. A lot of heat on Aaron Glenn.
There should be.
Yep.
I got a text from a couple people yesterday asking if Aaron Glenn is on the hot seat.
Well, and until you fire him as a head coach, I think you have to say all the things that Dan Campbell said yesterday. Otherwise, you undermine his chance to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
Often when guys get fired this early in the season, now, you made a great point. This isn't just this early in the season. This is all of last year and now. People want him fired punitively. One of the things you have to think of is if you're Dan Campbell is, how do we get better if Aaron Glenn's not running our defense? Who do we give it to? Do we give it to Calvin Shepard? Do we give it to Aubrey Pleasant? Who gets this? Who gets the job? And are we going to be better as an organization just by removing Aaron Glenn? Now, if you're mad and want to fire him, that's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Because you might be doing it to the detriment of your team because you might not have any better options.
I'm not there, and anywhere close to it with Aaron Glenn and saying he's got to go.
You said you're nowhere. You said you're nowhere close to it.
Nowhere close to saying he's got to go. I want to see this play out a little bit more. Let guys get healthy, see what they can do, adding to the defense. I think when you lose Tracy Walker, we've found out just how massive a loss that is for this team. You've brought some new guys in from other organizations that they're not hitting the ground running. We saw dramatic improvement, I think, of the defense towards the second half of last year. In the latter part of the second half of last year, last 6-7 games, the defense played much better. They had a clunker in there, but outside of the clunker, it was pretty good. We haven't seen the defense show up yet this year, except for the first half against Washington. So I'm expecting there'll be some corrections. You can only do so much with what you have, but hopefully what they have is going to be improved in the next couple weeks. Now, if Unzarike is a complete waste of a draft pick, if he's a bust because he's hurt and he just can't see the field, then you got to write it off, Pascal, hopefully he comes back at some point and shows why they drafted him. And he's a positive guy. He was a multiple captain at Kentucky, right? There's lots to like with him on paper, but we need to see him on the field. We need to see other guys performing better. I think we'll see some changes in the secondary with the defensive backs.
I think you're right.
And let's see how that works for them as well.
I think that's what the deep dive is going to result in. Some different personnel in the secondary.